Good morning, Nate. It's good to see you.
Good morning. Hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, but I'm not contagious anymore. So
Oh,
thanks for.
yeah. I was actually, I probably had the same thing yesterday.
Yeah, I know you weren't here yesterday. That's what Miss Spender was telling me. Are you feeling any better?
Oh, yeah. I'm feeling a lot better now. It was just yesterday. I was pretty sick.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you're feeling better. I'm sure you're stressed because you missed a whole day of school and you got some work to catch up on, huh?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. So I'm going to work with you today so we can at least get caught up in our social studies class. Does that sound cool?
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Sweet. So if you look on your iPad, there are three documents. One of them you've already seen, and the other two we looked at yesterday. So the one we've already seen is entitled Source C, and it looks like a big map of all the continents. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see that one.
Great. Do you remember what that map was about or what it told us?
I think it was about. Uh, yeah. It was about the slave trade, right?
Yes. So that map shows that all the places where slaves were taken out of Africa and where they were taken to. Good job. I love that you remember that. Okay, so now before we move on, we're going to look at the one that says, I believe it says, analyze the artwork at the top. Do you see that one? It's got all the questions and like little check boxes and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Great. So that's what we're going to use to look at another source so we can answer this question. Was the sugar trade sweet? So know that when I say sweet, I don't mean like, was it sweet like sugar? I mean, was it good? Was it bad? Right? So
Oh,
that's what we're going to be
yeah.
looking at. So think about that question in the back of your head as we talk about everything from here on out, okay?
Okay.
Cool. So now look for me at source B. You should see a picture at the top and some writing at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Of the people harvesting the sugar.
You got it. Okay, so just above that, there's a box that tells us where this source is from. So where is this source from, Nate? Excuse me.
University of. It says the University of Michigan.
Exactly. So it's from a university. So Nate, given what you know about universities and colleges, do you think this source came from a place we can trust?
Um, I think so. Yeah, because because it says it came from the University of Michigan William L. Clements Library. So like I trust libraries, or at least that's what we're told, that libraries have good sources.
Yeah, libraries do have good sources, and I'm glad you gave a reason to justify why you trust it. Awesome. Okay, so now looking down, tell me what you see in that picture. What parts of it stand out to you? What looks important?
Um, well, the slaves are harvesting sugar, and it looks like pretty hard work.
Looks like they're working hard. Some of them aren't even wearing shirts, are they?
Yeah, I don't think any of them are wearing shirts.
Okay. And what else do you see? What other kind of people do you see in that picture?
Um, well, there's the guy with the mustache in the background, and he's just kind of watching, and he's got some kind of um, thing in his hand.
Okay. So he's got something in his hand. Do you know what that is?
Um, there's a guy further in the background who looks like he's doing something. I think it might be a tool, or maybe like some sort of oh, it might be like a whip.
Oh, so maybe it's a whip. Okay.
Yeah.
So look at that first guy that you pointed out that's closer to the picture. What's tucked into his waistband? Do you see?
Um, I can't really tell what that is.
You can't tell. Yeah, I know it's kind of a blurry picture, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Um,
Well,
is it a tool?
It's a sort of tool. Actually, Nate, it's a gun.
A gun?
It's a gun tucked into his waistband.
Oh wow, they look really different.
So they have guns and they have whips. And you pointed out that the slaves are maybe not dressed very well and they look like they're working hard. So Nate, if you had to guess, what would you think about the sugar trade just from looking at that picture?
Um, well, I guess I would say that they it was hard work and they had to force the people to do it.
Yeah. So hard work, and they had to force the slaves to do the labor against their will. Good point. Good point. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the reading. And I know it's a paragraph and a half. Would you mind reading those for me, Nate?
Oh yeah.
Cool. And if you have any questions about any words, just feel free to stop and ask.
Okay. It is impossible to think about sugar production in the West Indies without thinking about slavery. The labor of enslaved Africans was, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that word.
Okay. Can you sound it out?
Oh yeah, it's Integral.
Integral.
Oh.
It means they couldn't have gotten by without it.
Oh, okay. The labor of enslaved Africans was integral to the cultivation of the cane and production of sugar. Oh, slaves toiled in the fields and the boiling houses, supplying the huge amounts of labor that sugar required. Overall, some 4 million slaves were brought to the Caribbean, and almost all ended up on the sugar plantations. Conditions were harsh and mortality rates were extremely high through all stages of slaves' lives. In some sugar colonies, the slave population was 10 times that of Europeans, and slave uprisings were an ever-present fear for the planters.
Okay, so before we read that last paragraph, remind me what it said about the kind of conditions that the slaves were living in. What were they like?
Well, it said that they toiled in the fields. I'm not quite sure what toiled means, but I think it means like that. Like I said, it was really hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what mortality rate means, Nate?
Not really.
So the mortality rate is the number of people that are dying per every 1,000 people. So it's about dying while they're working. So if it's high,
what was your question?
If the mortality rate is high, are they dying a lot and very quickly, or are they dying very slowly?
Oh no, yeah, they're dying quickly.
Yeah, they're dying quickly, and they're dying at every stage of their life from childhood to old age.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you about what life was like for slaves on sugar plantations?
Really not good.
Yeah, not good, huh? Yeah. Okay, so we're not going to read that last paragraph. We're just going to move on because I think you get the gist.
Yeah.
So Nate, I want you to think about everything we've talked about so far, from source C and source B, the picture and the reading, and tell me, what do you think? Was the sugar trade sweet?
I would say no, because like we just said, the slaves were forced to do it, and a lot of them were dying.
Yeah, life was really hard for the slaves. Yeah, and that made the sugar trade not worth it. That's what you're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Good. Well, Nate, I got to say, I love how enthusiastically you learn. I love that you provide support for all your answers. honestly, bud, I think you're caught up and you can get ready to join the class.
Oh, cool.
Sweet. All right, Nate. Raise your hand if you need me at all. I'll be over here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. End simulation.